It's God's world and his rules. Well, just because he's powerful doesn't make him good, right? When people call the God of the Bible a good guy, a perfect guy, a loving guy, and he uses genocide as a solution to problems, he endorses slavery, I don't think the words good or loving would ever cross my mind. Powerful? Sure. Sovereign? Sure. Righteous? Nah. Moral? No. But that's just where I'm at. Blasphemy? Yes. This is blasphemy. History doesn't call itself right or wrong. History just says this is what happened. The Bible, on the other hand, says it is right. It is good. Hello, Wolfie.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. So, okay, I see your discussion topic, and I'm very So I see that you have genocide, slavery, and SA on here, but so all of these things, like you were discussing with that person's comment, all of this has happened in history. The Bible is not a storybook. The Bible is an account of what happened. So it's not like we can take these things out just to make it not an evil book, Like the Bible is not an evil book. The Bible's an account of history. So
And
it's not like we can just take this stuff out.
according to the Bible's account, God gave these instructions and God did these things, right?
May I have an example of that? Do you have an
Yes. So
example of that?
Leviticus 25. The Lord
hmm
spoke to Moses and then he proceeds to give him commandments on how to buy slaves. Exodus 21. The Lord spoke to Moses and again buying and selling slaves. Numbers 31 is probably the best example because it has all three of these things in that same chapter. The Lord spoke to Moses and tells him all of these things. So these are all directives from God. And
Well,
then God himself does like the flood, Sodom and Gomorrah, the plagues of Egypt. All those genocides
Sodom,
happened. Huh?
yes, they did happen. Sodom and Gomorrah was because there
I
were
don't care about
people
the
in those
reason. I
places.
don't care about the reason.
No, but you should care about the reason because those people were practicing very bad things. Those people were very
Like
immoral.
genocide, like genocide
The reason they
or
were destroyed
slavery.
was because they were very immoral and God gave them the opportunity to repent. He gave them the opportunity multiple times to
So that's why
confess their
you're okay with
sins.
genocide?
I'm not okay with genocide. It was not. It was punishment for immorality that they had.
Was that punishment, was God doing that punishment a good thing or a bad thing?
It was a good thing because he gave them a
So you
chance. He
support
gave them
genocide. If it
he
was,
I do
if it,
not
no, I
support
don't,
genocide.
hold on.
I'm saying that in the
You literally
past,
just did though. You literally just did.
but
You
back
said it was
then
good.
is
You said it
far
was good.
different. Back then
You said
is
it was good.
far different than how it is today.
You said it was good. That's you supporting it.
I never said it was a good thing. I said that God
Yes, you did. Yes,
was
you did.
allowing
I
them to
said, was it good or
repent.
bad that he did it? And you said good. It
Well,
was a
it was
good thing that
good
God
in
did
the sense that
genocide.
he was showing them that their immorality cannot go
He wasn't showing them anything. He
unpunished.
was wiping them out.
It's not that he's allowing us to think that genocide is a good thing. That's not the
He
intention. The intention is to show that these people were extremely immoral. These people did it
That
to
may have been
themselves.
his
Honestly, these
intention. That
people
may
did
have
it to
been his
themselves.
intention. You know who else did genocide because he thought he had a good reason? We're not gonna name names, but everybody who does horrible things thinks they have a good reason. And I myself personally, I can say across the board, genocide is always bad. So I would hope that maybe you can learn a little bit from what I'm saying.
Genocide is never okay. Doesn't matter your reason. Everybody has reasons for doing what they do. It doesn't make it a good reason. So let's talk
No, but
about
when
the
they were
plagues of
given the
Egypt.
chance, when they were
Let's
given
talk
the
about the
chance
plagues of
multiple
Egypt.
times.
God was mad at the Pharaoh, so he took it out on other people's kids.
But
So
do you
how is that
understand
fair to
why
those
that
kids?
happened? You're not
But how is that
understanding
fair to
because
the kids? No, I do understand, but it's not fair to the kids. Why didn't God take it out on the Pharaoh? Why didn't, if God is all powerful, he could have done anything, and he chose to take it out on other kids, on
because these
innocent
people did
children.
it to themselves. These people did it to
The,
themselves. God
you
has
think
given people
the
multiple
infants did nothing
chances. He's
wrong?
very
How does an
merciful.
infant do something wrong?
It's not about the infant. It's not
But they're the ones
about
who paid
that.
the
It's not
price.
taking
They're the
it
ones
out
who
on the
paid the
infant.
price. The infants paid the price. Why did they get punished for what somebody else did?
It wasn't really punishment, though. The reason that
Oh,
that
yes, it
happened
was.
was because,
That the
okay,
plagues
so
were
listen
punishment.
here. So the Egyptians, I'm going to use it against you. The Egyptians were holding them as slaves. God was allowing, who was it, Moses, to free them of slavery. God was allowing them to be free of slavery. He had
So he
sent the
he
plagues upon
took
the
it out on
Egyptians
other people's
because the
innocent children.
Egyptians,
So your God takes his vengeance out on innocent children, and you're okay with that.
listen, the whole point is these people were
Remember,
given chances
regardless of
to
the
repent.
reason you
These
have for
people were
your
given
actions,
chances to repent, and they didn't.
regardless of the reason you have for your actions, it's the action that matters, right? So do you think the action of taking out your frustrations on innocent children is good or bad?
Well, you're just going to knock down everything because the fact that you think the Bible's an evil book really speaks loudly to how you're going to argue about this.
Well, let's just talk about this one topic. Do you think it's okay to unalive innocent children? It's that simple.
No, I don't think it's right.
Do you think it? Do you think it's wrong to unalive innocent children?
In most cases, in that
Oh,
case,
most cases. Oh,
in the
most
plague,
cases.
no, in the
So
plague,
if
I'm
I had a good reason and I gave somebody a bunch of chances, would it then be okay for me to go do something like that?
no, but do you see what you're doing though? Because you have a set
Yes.
mindset, you are going to
Yes.
twist everything about it. You're going to
I'm
twist
not twisting
everything
it.
about
I'm
the
not
Bible.
twisting it.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
critically thinking.
You're going to twist everything about the Bible to fit it being an evil book because that is your belief. You are
Do you
not
think
going you're
Well,
not
here's the
going
difference
to want
between you and me.
No, no,
Here's the
no.
difference between you and me.
Listen here.
I say
You're not going to
genocide.
want the book to be a good book because you believe it's evil. You're going to want to twist it around
How
into
many
making it
times
bad.
has God chosen genocide in the Bible?
I haven't read the full Bible, so I don't know, but I'm
So
saying,
why are we talking?
yes,
Why are we
I
talking? If you haven't
understand.
read the
I
Bible,
understand.
you don't
No, but
know
I
the
am a
character of
devout
God.
Catholic. This is
You
my
don't
religion
know the
right here.
character of
I've
God
been
if you
brought
haven't
up.
read the Bible. You don't know the character of God if you haven't read the Bible. How can you follow somebody without knowing who he is?
Okay, let me ask you a question. If it's
Sure.
not too personal, do you mind telling me what your religion is? Do
I'm
you have a
non-religious.
religion or not? You're not, okay.
No,
So if you're not religious, how can you judge another religion? Like, how can you do that?
because of the effect.
If you
Because
don't practice it, how can you judge it?
I judge them based on their actions, right? The effect they have on their community. That's how you judge any group of people, is by the effect they have on their community.
But if you don't fully understand it, if you don't fully understand why things are happening the way they're happening, you don't see the bigger picture. You see what you
But I
want to
do
see.
understand.
Because you
I
don't
do
practice it,
understand.
you see what you want to see. So you don't actually know the big picture. So
So
I
what
really don't think you're entitled. I really
do you
don't
know?
think you're
Harry
entitled.
Potter? Do you know Marvel? Do you know any of the big movies like that? Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Marvel, anything like that?
Okay, before I answer that, I see a lot of people saying if you haven't read the Bible, you can't defend it. Pretty much, I go to church every Sunday. Every reading at
That's
church
different.
is from the
You're
Bible.
listening to somebody
We
else tell you a
technically
story.
all, no,
You're
listen
listening to
here.
somebody
It's
else
from the
tell you a
Bible.
story instead of
Technically
reading it
speaking,
yourself.
we've
I've
heard the
read the
Bible
Bible
in
myself.
church. I haven't sat down myself and read the entire book, the whole Bible,
Right.
front to cover things. I
That
was brought up
that puts their
in this
narrative.
religion. I'm a Catholic. I know
Oh
my
God, Catholic.
religion.
There we go. There we go. That's why. Okay, so let's get back to my question.
Okay,
Lord of the
cool,
Rings
cool.
or Harry Potter or Marvel? Do you know are any of those a good reference for you that you could speak about?
Honestly,
That I could
no.
make a reference to that you would understand?
Probably because I've heard enough about them to kind of know what's going on with them.
Okay, so Harry Potter, you know the basics. This kid goes to magic school and they're trying to fight off all the
Yes.
bad wizards. This guy Voldemort is trying to destroy the school and take over the whole magic land, right?
Yes.
So why do you think Voldemort is the bad guy?
Are okay. Oh my gosh. Are we
Because
comparing?
he's trying to impose his will on everybody else because he has a reason for it.
I'm gonna pretend that we're not comparing God to Voldemort right now because
We're
those are
we're
two
comparing two books.
completely different things. These are
We're comparing two
completely
books.
different things.
One's a book and the other one's a book.
Okay, but Harry Potter's fiction, okay?
So is the
Harry Potter
Bible.
is fiction. The
So is
Bible
the
is an
Bible.
account of what actually happened,
No, the
written
Bible
by
is a
people.
collection of stories that use some historical aspects as details in the story, but it doesn't prove the story real, right? Spider Man takes place in New York. New York is real, but
Okay,
Spider Man isn't.
but
Jesus,
you can't
Jesus was
compare the Bible to these. That's
Jesus
like me
was
comparing other
crucified.
religions to, let's say, like The Simpsons or something. Like
Jesus
they're
was
not comparable.
crucified. Listen, Jesus was crucified by Pontius Pilate. That's what the book says. But history, in reality, we can confirm Pontius Pilate, but we can't confirm Jesus. So a book says a thing doesn't make the book true. Every book says a thing. Some books have actual details in them. Those details don't make the rest of the book real.
See, the reason I'm not really trying to fight you on this is because people that don't want to learn it are not going to learn
But
it.
you
You
don't
don't
even know what
want to
you
believe.
don't know the Bible. You don't know the Bible. How can you teach me if you haven't even read the Bible? How can you possibly teach me if you don't know it?
I have studied.
No,
I
you
go
haven't.
through
No,
the
you
Bible.
haven't.
It's not, I
No,
haven't
you
read it
haven't. You
front to
haven't
cover.
studied.
I have
You've
not read it
memorized
front to cover.
stories that you've been
How do you
told
know that I haven't
with the
studied it?
narratives.
Do you know me?
You
I
just
just
said you
met you.
haven't
How do
read
you
it.
know
You
that?
said you haven't read it. You have to read something. You can maybe like I'm halfway through the Bible. I've studied up to this point. I've made it up to
Okay, but what
Second
I said
Chronicles
was I
or
meant I have not read it front to cover. I still look at it. I still go through. I read the parts of it. I read the different books in the Bible. I have not read
yeah.
it front to cover. I
Have
haven't
you
read
read To
it
Kill a
every
Mockingbird?
single word.
Have you
Yes, I
read To
have read
Kill a
To Kill a
Mockingbird?
Mockingbird. Yes, I have.
Okay, so if I just read the part about all the kids being scared of Boo Radley the neighbor, would I have an understanding of the book or the characters?
No, but again, that's not comparable because that's like
It is
a
comparable because you're
single
reading
part that
bits
you
and
read.
pieces
I've
out of a
read
book.
multiple parts. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I've done with it. I'm telling you
But
that
based on what you're saying,
I was brought up like this. I've spent my entire life learning these things.
you're learning somebody else's narrative. Why on earth would you not read the one book God gave you? How insulting to your God is that, that you won't
Okay,
even
so
read the
why
one
haven't
book
you
He
read
gave
it
you?
then? Why haven't you read it? If you
I
feel
have.
so
That's why
entitled,
I'm here.
have you read it front
That
to cover? You've read every
yes,
single
and
word
that's
of
why
it.
I'm here.
So why did
Everything
you
I've the
decide to
only
read
parts
it?
I haven't
Why did
read
you decide
are
to read
some of
it?
the poetry and the fortune cookie section. The Psalms and Proverbs, I haven't read through all of those because it's just somebody writing poetry about their God and it's just rambling.
Because you're
But
scared that it's going to say the truth to you, so you just choose
oh
not to
gosh, a
read it.
poem is going to tell me the truth. No, the stories of God doing genocide, not what somebody's thoughts are about that God.
So exactly. So
Psalm,
you haven't really read it either. So how can you talk on it? You haven't read it. How can you
I
say it?
haven't read
How
the
can you
poet. I've read the stories. I told you, not the poetry, not the
Exactly.
fortune cookie stuff.
So how can you speak upon it though if you haven't read it? How can you say it's bad if you haven't read it? You're
I've read
contradicting
everything
yourself.
except the
You are
poetry because poetry doesn't
exactly.
tell you anything about God. It
So
only tells you what people think about their God.
so why are you speaking on it though if you haven't
I'm
read
not
it?
speaking on Psalms.
You are
I'm not
speaking on it.
speaking
You're
on
saying it's
Proverbs.
poetry. You're saying it's just a bunch of people.
Yes,
You're
because that's what it
speaking on
is.
it. You're contradicting yourself right now.
Okay, so I've read like 99% of the Bible.
Okay.
Do you think a poem is going to change my outlook on genocide or slavery? Oh, that was. I'm okay with genocide. I guess I am okay with slavery.
Okay, but can I tell you what people like you do? Can I tell you? Because I've seen numerous videos of this as well. Is people take things and they twist it so it sounds like a bad thing, but you're actually completely missing the point of what it's actually trying to teach people. Is you are taking it, you're saying, oh, everybody knows this is a bad thing, right? So here we do have this thing that happened. Now I'm going to say, because everybody thinks it's a bad thing, everybody knows it's a bad thing, now I'm going to take this and get everybody to believe that it is a bad thing. What you're doing is you are totally skewing people away from the truth right now. Like you are completely misreading all of this.
But you both, like, you can't even make up your mind. You said genocide is good with a healthy humanity.
Listen here, listen here. So let's say you have somebody so okay? Somebody who means so much to you and somebody hurts them very bad dear to you, okay? Me badly. I don't know how much I can like explain on this because I don't know what's like
Yeah,
filtered to
right.
say
I
and stuff.
understand.
But
I
let's
understand.
say
I'll bear
yes,
with you.
exactly. So let's say that happens to somebody very dear to you. You want the worst thing to happen to the other person because they took somebody that cared a lot about you away. You need them to learn a heavy lesson because of what they did. They
Yes,
completely went against you.
I can understand that rage and that
Why
passion.
is that not different than this? He gave them multiple times to repent for the wrongdoing
But
that they were in the process of doing. He
I
gave
want,
them multiple chances, not one chance, multiple. They still didn't listen.
so that's why it's okay to
So
take it
that's
out on other
grounds.
people's babies. That's
No, this is
irrational.
the
That's irrational.
it happened that way because it needs to be an example. It needs to show the power
It needs
of
to.
what, yes, because somebody like you doesn't understand it.
So when
And
a
see,
guy
exactly,
has a
everybody's
bad day
saying,
at
when is
work,
unaliving babies ever okay? That's not the point. The point,
when
that's
a
how you all
guy
are
is at
skewing
work
this. It's
and he
not
has
supposed to show that,
can teach
again,
them a
that is
lesson.
something far different. That is something far different. Having a
I'm just
bad
trying to
day
see
at
where you
work
draw the line at.
is
I'm
not
trying
the
to see where
same.
you
It's
draw the line.
immorals. It's morals. They were doing immoral things that were against
The
the
babies were.
rules, pretty much.
The babies were. Let me ask you this: a straight
Some
out
of these
question. Is
comments
it
are like,
okay
I
to?
fear for
You've
you
already answered
people.
this.
It's so sad.
But the sad thing is that you can't unequivocally, you can't across the board, I can't say that word. You can't across the board say genocide is always wrong, slavery is always wrong. You can't say that, and I can. And the reason you can't is because you're being force fed a false narrative of what the Bible says.
No, I'm saying this is sad because you guys have such a warped mindset on all of this. Is your
If you read a
mindset,
book, if
you are looking at it from today's standards. Things
yes,
back then were far different than things nowadays.
do you think it's
And it's so
genocide?
sad
Is
to
well,
me to
you
see
already said you think
everybody.
You already said that you think genocide is okay sometimes. So today's standards,
No,
yesterday's
I'm not saying
standards,
it's okay sometimes. I'm saying that in the
you
case,
said that. You
I'm
literally
not
said that.
saying that mass, like, unaliving people is okay. I'm not saying that. I think that I'm saying in terms of back then in the Bible, see, this is what you do. You get everybody confused. This is what happens. Is now we don't know how to explain ourselves because yeah, I guess I do lose, don't I? Because I'm trying to fight a losing battle because you're not going to want. I don't think your intention was to come on here and try to change your mindset. Everybody
Correct.
that comes on here and
My
debates, everybody
intention.
that comes on here and debates is to push ideas onto people. Nobody's trying to have a genuine conversation anymore. Everybody's trying to push their own mindsets on people. And that's wrong.
Well,
I'm
I'm
not
open
saying
to
you need to
conversation.
convert. I'm not saying you need to convert. If you want to think it's an evil book, go ahead.
I'm here
But
for a
I'm trying to give you
conversation,
some insight from the other side. I'm
and
trying to give you
but
some
I've heard it.
insight from the other side, but you don't want to listen to it.
No, I've
You're
heard it
not
before, and
listening to it.
I've heard it. I've heard it. I know why God did it. I disagree that it's a good reason. I
I'm
disagree with
listening
his
to what
reasoning.
he's saying. I'm listening to what he's saying. That's why I'm saying this is hurting me because I'm listening to what you're saying and I'm seeing that you have this mindset. You have a
Are you at home
mindset
right now,
that's
Wolfie?
just, yes, I am.
Can you go to your bathroom mirror and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I think genocide is okay sometimes, and see how that feels? I
Okay, but
think
then again, you're
slavery is
also
okay.
warping what I'm telling you. You're warping what
I'm
I'm
not.
telling you as well.
I'm repeating what you're saying.
Because I'm
I,
not the kind of person that says, oh my goodness, slavery is okay. Oh my goodness, genocide's okay. That's not, I am not that person. You don't know me. You just met me 10
but
minutes
you
ago.
said it. You said it. I'm going off what you told me.
But I'm trying to explain it in terms of the Bible. I'm trying to tell you that these things happened for a reason. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm saying it.
Determine this guy did a thing. Was it a good thing? Okay, well, let me follow him. Was it a bad thing? Maybe I want to stay away.
I know you're not religious, but to try to say, just from my standpoint, to try to say what God is doing, we don't have that power. That's for anybody's God. We don't have the power to say that what God is doing is wrong or right.
Yeah, we do.
Well, you said something profound. You said that back then we had different morals than now. Are you saying that God was immoral back then versus now? If he does commit genocide now, is he wrong or no?
So I understand that. What I'm saying is, I think that those things happened in the past to create. So I'm really not a judge. I can't say if it was wrong or right.
You don't have a moral compass without religion?
I do, but religion plays a lot into morals.
No, well, do you need religion to be a good person?
No, you don't. But I'm
Okay,
saying
so
to
you
call
don't.
something an evil, to call another religion's sacred book evil, I think that's pretty entitled. Like, I don't think anybody can really say it's evil. You can express your concerns about it. I have no problems with that because I
Are you at all concerned
try to,
about it?
yes, I express my concerns a lot about it. Actually, I talk to people and I express my concerns about my religion to a lot of people because I'm trying to get a better understanding. But to sit
Okay.
here and say it's an evil book, that's a little entitled to me.
A
I don't think
majority of
anybody
the
has the right
stories
to
in the
do that to
Bible
another
is,
religion.
with our society today, reading the entire Bible from front to back, majority of the book is bad for society. Okay? Evil is identified with religion. So I'll say it is bad for society. And I have a moral compass, so I can definitely say that Genocide, slavery, essaying virgin daughters is all wrong. And the fact that they put in the Bible women are second-class citizens and don't have any power or say is bad.
But I think a lot of people just don't understand what it's trying to say. Like, nobody, unless you really sit there, and nobody's really going to understand it. Like, none of us have sat here and studied it hardcore.
Unless
How
We
do
you're
you
in
don't
a
know that?
dedicate
cult.
our time to it. So
Unless
I
you are in
think
a
this is a
cult,
very
you will
entitled
not
statement.
understand it.
Because to call something evil that you don't fully understand
I didn't call it
is
evil.
very well, no, but the host is calling it evil. That's why I have an issue with this statement, is because calling something evil that you don't fully understand, that's an opinion. If
And
it's
saying that
evil to you,
it's
it
bad
doesn't
isn't
mean
an
it's
opinion.
evil.
And you
No,
saying that
those
it's
three
good
things.
is not an opinion.
I'm not saying those three things are good. I'm saying I believe those things. I don't know about the last one, to be honest with you. The SA one. I'm not sure about that one. That's why I haven't really been touching upon that one. But for
It's
the
all
first
throughout the
two,
Bible.
I know, but I'm not as knowing of that one. That's why I'm not
So are
touching
you
upon it,
saying
because I
that you
don't want to
didn't?
plant false ideas in other people's heads. I don't want
Okay,
to
have
touch
you read
upon
the
those things if
entire
I don't
Bible?
fully. I have read most of it, but not the entire thing.
So you formed an opinion
But
based
it's
on
also
what? On
a
you not
very
reading the
long
entire
book,
Bible?
so it's.
With incomplete data, yeah.
But he also has incomplete data because he hasn't read all of the books of the Bible as well. So I don't see what I'm doing wrong if you're doing the same thing.
So
You're twisting it. You're
did you
making
cherry
me
pick?
out to be a bad. You're making me out to be wrong because I'm against talking through it. Host has stuff to say and doesn't want me to say anything about it.
Do you feel some type of way that he's questioning the genocide, slavery, and essay?
Honestly, another thought I have, the fact that he's even questioning it gives me a tiny bit of hope, because at least he's hearing other people's viewpoints to it, which I hope, despite what it looks like, will kind of get into his head, and then he can make more decisions based off that.
Yeah, he's
The
not
fact
going
that
to.
he's sitting at the fact, okay, that's up to him or not, but the fact that he's sitting here and listening to it also speaks something.
Well,
Whether he takes it or not,
he's actually just
is
letting
up to
you.
him.
He's actually just letting you spew some stupid stuff.
I know,
Just
but there
saying.
are people that come on here that have a viewpoint and they don't let people come up to talk and they just speak their mind, and that's that.
Let me ask you this. So how long have you been a Christian? Or how long have you
My
been in your faith?
I have been in it my whole life.
Your
So,
entire
like,
since you were born?
yes, I was baptized into this and I've been
Hmm.
learning.
You were Christian.
But you
Well,
Okay,
haven't read the
since I
so
was
Bible.
your
able to
parents,
start learning it. Obviously,
so
you can't do
you're
that
an
as a
adult
baby,
right
but
now, correct? You're an
yes.
adult? Okay.
Hmm.
So your entire life, your parents or whoever took care of you, told you what to think instead of how to think, and now you're in a whole adult, and you told me that this book is sacred.
I
It
never
is a
said that
guide.
they told
You
me what to think, though. I never said they told me what to think. I am this religion by my own
absolutely.
choice.
How
But
did
they
you
did.
choose it if you were a child? You didn't know
Because there is a
anything.
thing in my religion, there is something called confirmation, which is when you
Confirmation
yourself.
bias. Yes,
Okay, so why aren't we saying that about other religions? Everybody is grown, not everybody. I
absolutely.
can't say everybody. There are many people that are born into a religion and they learn it. They
Mhm.
learn it.
Absolutely.
We also in
We're
school
saying
learn
the
about
So
same
you
thing
were
about
told what
other
to
other.
think.
religion.
We
Religion is
also
bad.
learn. I'm not saying religion is bad. I'm also saying that we learn about other ones in school. So we are
No,
exposed to all of them, or most of them, any ones that we're taught about. It's
okay.
not just
Are
one.
you in America?
Yes.
Okay, so
No,
that's not true. We don't learn about our religion in
yeah,
schools.
I
we
have
don't.
learned
We
about other
basically learn
religions.
about God. Wait, did you go to a Catholic school or something?
I did not. I went to public school.
Public school? Definitely not. You have not learned about other religion
Okay,
in
but why
public
are you
school.
telling me
Right,
what I
cats.
have not done when you don't know me and I know what I learned in school? I know I learned about other religions in school.
Well, I mean, technically, we did learn about religions. We just didn't
I
learn
can
like
get
their
the
belief
papers. I have them
structures.
saved. I save all my school papers in a box of memories in my basement. I have the school papers.
We learned
Anyway,
about religion as it refers to like civilizations.
Yeah. And remember, we
That's
also
it.
learned in school about Christopher Columbus being this amazing hero. And as we became
Okay,
an
which is
adult, we
not
learned
always,
better.
yes, there are things that are skewed because I think that's part of a different debate that we won't get into right now.
Well, you brought it
But
up.
yeah.
I'm
But I
saying
was I
that
was
just
bringing up a
because I
point.
was
Hold
brought
on.
up in this religion doesn't mean I can't go out and research myself other religions and look at other
Absolutely. I'm
religions.
so
I
happy
Sure.
you
Did
made
you
said
this
do that
choice
yet?
that.
myself.
I'm
I
I'm
made
so
this
happy
choice
you said
myself.
that
I
because you're now an adult and you're still in the same faith that you were born into, and that's
exactly
commendable,
because
right?
this is the
You
one that I
stayed the
want to stay
straight
with.
and narrow path. That's commendable. What is not commendable is that you believe that this is a sacred book and is a book inspired by God, right? But I
Okay,
find
but that is commendable.
what
So what
I
do you say about the
find
Quran?
interesting
That's a
is
sacred
that
book to another religion, and nobody has a problem with that
you
one.
believe that this book is inspired by God, but you have not read the entire Bible and you're a whole adult. Why?
Okay, but that also doesn't
Good
matter
question.
because
It
when you
does
go to
matter.
college, right? They give you a textbook, okay? You can reference the textbook, but are you going to read the textbook front to cover? Probably not. But
Okay,
that
but
Well,
doesn't mean
the
you
it's
main
just
false.
you
objective,
had
That
accused
the main
doesn't
like
mean it's
objective is to
false.
karma,
pass that
karma.
class, right? So you're going to be selective on what you read. If the teacher tells you that to read a certain page, that's what you're going to do to pass that class. Now, your God told you that to read the Bible, and this is a holy book, and this is His manual. Why wouldn't you read it so that you can be closer to
It
Him?
is, but did you also think of the fact that I might still be in the process of reading it?
Well,
I have
hold
the
You're
on.
a whole
right to
adult.
read
You
it.
have
I
I'm
just want to point
okay,
out
but I'm
something,
an adult, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like
Joe.
I understand what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
I understand if it's
then
that
I want to
therefore
same
point something out.
you should not be saying
If I
anything about Joe and him reading and being selective out of that manual, that morality manual, right?
okay,
So
but
you
I
can't
can
that's
throw
pass
kind
any
of
that back
judgment
at
on
you.
him
I can throw that back at you. If he's not religious, why is he speaking upon my
okay.
religion's book?
Okay,
because
If he's
it
not
affects his
religious, if
life.
he's
It
Wow.
affects his
okay, but
life and my life
it's
and
affecting me
everyone
that you're
else
calling it
around us.
it's affecting
Okay,
me that you're
so
calling it
I'm
evil.
just gonna
So why
talk
am I
then.
not allowed to
Um,
speak on it? If he's
love,
not my religion, then why is he allowed to
you
speak on
accused
it?
of atheists. You accused of atheists not reading the Bible, and I can assure you that many atheists have read the entire Bible and
Okay.
pretty much understand the what it says. But yet you sit here and you haven't read the entire Bible, and you're telling them what the Bible says. I don't understand that.
I'm just
And you also
saying
said that you
that
don't
if
know anything about the essay version daughters, and it's throughout the entire Bible. So
no,
what Bible were you reading?
I have heard I have heard of it. I'm just not comfortable enough to speak too much on it. There's a difference between hearing about it and not feeling comfortable to speak
Because
on it.
you're biased.
Karma,
Because I'm
can
not
I
biased. I
can
don't want to
she
steer
reply
people in
to
the
what I
wrong
said?
direction.
I
I
would
do
like to
not want
actually
to steer
respond to what
people
I said,
in
please.
the wrong direction.
I'll mute.
I just want a response to what I said, if you don't mind.
Who, me?
No, not you, honey.
Oh,
Hun, sorry. I'm bleh. Sorry, not you. Love.
Yes.
How can you say and claim that atheists have not read or studied the Bible, but yet
I
you
did
sit here and you are telling them what the Bible says without reading it.
Okay, but also I can combat that as well, because just because I haven't read the entire Bible front to cover, every single word, does not mean that I haven't lived in this religion. I know the teachings of this religion. I
Okay, you're
know
not
the
responding to
book.
what I
I've
said then.
learned the book.
How?
Just because I haven't read it does not mean that I don't know. I haven't
Okay,
read
then
in
how
depth
are
the
you
story of
saying?
Sodom and Gomorrah,
Hold
but
on,
I've read enough of it
you're
to
not
understand
answering my
it.
question. Hold on. You're not answering my question. How can you sit here and say that atheists have not read the entire Bible or studied the Bible if you haven't read it, and saying that what they're saying is false?
Because
Hypocrite.
I know the context behind the Bible.
Can you
Atheists
please just
don't know the
answer my
context.
question?
I am answering it right now.
You're
If you would
not.
let me speak, if one of
Okay,
you
go ahead.
people would let me speak, I would answer it. But all of
Well,
you keep
I would like you to
interrupting me
answer
and not letting me
first.
speak.
Can you answer
I am
first
in
and
the
then give me
process.
an
I
explanation?
am in the
Because when you give an
process. Yes.
explanation, hold on, please. When you give an explanation and then answer my question, I'm not listening to your explanation. I'm just
Okay,
waiting for you to
but you're
answer my
also
question.
closed-minded. I listened to your question. You're also closed-minded. You want an immediate answer. I am giving you an
Yes,
answer.
Bridget. Yes,
So
Bridget.
let
She
me,
has on her whole armor of God, excluding the sword.
the
Listen,
fact that you are
I'm
being
telling you.
sarcastic
Hold
about
on,
this
please.
is
I'm
very
telling
painful.
you.
I'm trying
Actually,
to
I'm pretty
explain
open
something to you.
minded. Hold on. I'm pretty open minded, and
Then you
I'm
would let me
telling you
speak and
how
not
I
interrupt
learn.
me.
I'm telling you how I learn, how
Okay, and
what
I'm
other
telling you how
people
I
think,
learned.
and
So what's the
I'm telling you.
difference?
Hold on, and I'm telling you that I would just like a answer to my question first, and then you can explain your answer. That's all that I'm telling you. That I'm here to
Okay,
listen to what you have to say, but I'm just telling you how I learn. And if you really want to get your message across to me, then I'm asking you to do it how I learn.
Can
okay, but
atheists
I'm
catch them
also
up?
not sure how you learned. I'm going off of what I learned. You asked me a
I
question. I did
just
not
told you
learn.
how I just told you. Are
If
you
you're
not
gonna keep
listening?
interrupting me, I'm gonna leave because you obviously don't want to learn this.
Okay, bye.
And I'll pray for you guys. I will pray for
Oh,
you
please.
guys
Oh,
because you
no, no, no.
obviously need it.
No,
You
We're
no,
thinking
obviously
for
need it.
you.
Okay?
no.
Because I can't even get a word out without one.
At this point, the guest dropped. She just quit talking. What the other guest was asking is that she needs to receive the information in a certain way to be able to process the information. I understand that. That's how I am too. And that's all she was asking, is to please front load your answer before you give the reasoning.